There is no written rulebook for Muggles who learn about magic. The Ministry avoids physical records entirely, since any document could expose the wizarding world. Instead, every explanation happens face-to-face and under supervision. When a Muggle-born child is identified, a Hogwarts official visits the family to confirm the child's abilities and deliver a direct verbal briefing. Parents are told that what they learn is confidential under wizarding law and may be discussed only within the family. No papers, forms, or proof are left behind. Just a clear warning and, sometimes, mild calming charms to keep the meeting orderly. Muggle spouses or partners are briefed later by the Muggle Liaison Office once disclosure is reported. The session outlines the duty of secrecy and the potential legal use of memory charms if that secrecy is broken. Guardians like the Dursleys rarely receive formal instruction. They're expected to stay silent and are watched for violations. Only one Muggle receives written material, the British Prime Minister, who is handed a magically sealed orientation upon taking office. Everyone else must rely on that single conversation, and the understanding that breaking secrecy brings immediate ministry intervention. Once a Muggle is made aware of the wizarding world, their name and basic details are quietly recorded by the Ministry of Magic. The entry is handled by the Muggle Liaison Office, which maintains a confidential list of all non-magical individuals with verified knowledge of magic. This database is not open to the public or other departments. It exists solely to track exposure and ensure continued secrecy. Each case is classified according to circumstance: parent of a Muggle-born, spouse of a witch or wizard, or guardian of a magical child. Before final registration, officials conduct discreet background checks to assess reliability, emotional stability, and any risk of public disclosure. Once approved, the Muggle's record becomes part of a restricted archive maintained jointly with the Obliviator headquarters, which oversees potential memory modification. Monitoring is light but constant. Detection spells can flag abnormal patterns, such as attempts to photograph magical events, record strange phenomena, or report them to authorities. These charms do not invade privacy. They only alert the Ministry to possible breaches. If a warning is triggered, Obliviators review the case and intervene if necessary. The system ensures that awareness of magic remains contained, silent, and manageable. The most important rule for any Muggle who knows about magic is absolute secrecy. The International Statute of Secrecy, established in 1692, applies to them as strictly as it does to wizards. Once informed, they are legally bound never to reveal, describe, or record anything related to the magical world. This includes verbal conversations, written notes, photographs, and all forms of digital communication. Even accidental slips are treated as violations because the intent does not matter. The risk to secrecy does. To enforce this, the Ministry uses layered deterrents. Subtle enchantments placed on registered Muggles can sense exposure attempts, such as trying to describe magic to someone unaware. These charms cause mild confusion or memory fog, allowing the person to stop before revealing too much. For deliberate leaks, the Obliviator headquarters is authorized to erase memories entirely. There are no appeals or legal hearings for Muggles who break secrecy. The action is preventive, not punitive. In extreme cases, family members may also be obliviated to contain exposure. For those who obey, life continues normally, but always under the quiet pressure of knowing that one careless word could make their entire memory of magic disappear. Muggles who know about magic are not granted free movement within the wizarding world. Entry to any magical location requires ministry authorization or direct supervision by a witch or wizard. The rule exists to prevent unmonitored exposure, misplaced curiosity, or accidental interaction with enchanted security systems. Places such as Diagon Alley, St. Mungo's Hospital for Magical Maladies, and the Ministry of Magic itself are protected by layered concealment charms. These enchantments cause Muggles to perceive blank walls, abandoned buildings, or mundane shops instead of the true locations. When an exception is approved, such as parents escorting a child to Diagon Alley for school supplies, a temporary pass or escort license is issued by the Muggle Liaison Office. The charm fades automatically once the visit ends. Access to Hogwarts is entirely forbidden. Its ancient wards repel any non-magical visitor, even those aware of its existence. Anyone approaching the grounds experiences powerful confusion and a compulsion to turn back. Only in rare emergencies, such as serious injury or official investigation, can a Muggle be brought onto magical property, and always under full supervision. The rule is consistent. Knowledge does not equal entry. Memory alteration is the Ministry's final safeguard for protecting secrecy. The Obliviator headquarters, operating under the Department of Magical Accidents and Catastrophes, holds full authority to erase or modify a Muggle's memory when their knowledge of magic poses a threat. This is not considered punishment, but a preventive measure. The objective is to remove the information, not the person. Obliviation is used when a Muggle has witnessed an uncontrolled magical event, suffered trauma from magical exposure, or deliberately violated secrecy. The charm erases specific memories rather than the entire mind. In most cases, the individual resumes normal life without realizing any change occurred. Records of every obliviation are stored securely for internal review, but never shared outside the Ministry. Consent is rarely obtained. Magical law classifies the preservation of secrecy as a higher priority than personal choice. During large-scale incidents, like the Quidditch World Cup in 1994, entire groups of Muggles were obliviated without notice. Wizards who perform the spell undergo strict certification, ensuring accuracy and minimal side effects. In exceptional cases, memories may later be restored, but only by order of the Wizengamot. For most Muggles, once a memory of magic is removed, it is gone permanently. When a witch or wizard marries a Muggle, the relationship must be reported to the Muggle Liaison Office. The purpose is not interference, but containment. Once disclosure occurs, Ministry officials verify that the Muggle partner fully understands the secrecy obligation and agrees to abide by it. A confidential record is created, marking the household as a mixed residence. Within these homes, the use of magic is legally restricted. Spells performed for convenience, like cleaning charms or self-stirring kettles, are permitted, but anything that risks detection by neighbors is prohibited. Muggle technology often malfunctions near strong enchantments, so the Ministry provides optional guidance on maintaining magical privacy without disrupting daily life. Manipulating a Muggle partner with magic through love potions, confundus charms, or financial trickery is treated as a serious criminal offense. Convictions can lead to imprisonment in Azkaban and a permanent ban on magic use. The guiding principle is consent. The Muggle may know about magic, but they must never be controlled by it. Mixed families often live quietly, blending two worlds under constant discretion. Their secrecy extends even to relatives who remain unaware of magic, creating homes where the extraordinary must look entirely ordinary from the outside. When a magical child is raised by Muggles, the household comes under indirect Ministry supervision. Guardians are informed, formally or informally, that the child's abilities must be kept secret until they enter Hogwarts. This expectation is absolute. The use of force, ridicule, or suppression of a child's magic is discouraged, but not always prevented. In serious cases, the Ministry can intervene through the Child Liaison Sub-Office. A Muggle guardian must not tamper with magical correspondence or refuse entry to school representatives. Letters from Hogwarts are protected by trace spells to ensure delivery. If communication is blocked, the Ministry can dispatch a representative to secure the child's attendance. Guardians are also forbidden from contacting Muggle authorities to report magical behavior. Doing so constitutes a breach of the Statute of Secrecy. The Dursleys' treatment of Harry Potter became an internal example of this system's weakness. Their hostility did not break any specific law, but remained under observation. The Ministry's approach prioritizes silence over comfort. So long as secrecy is preserved, interference stays minimal. Guardians who endanger that secrecy face obliviation or loss of custody. The priority is containment. The child's magic must stay hidden until it can be properly trained. Muggles who know about magic are not permitted to contact the Ministry directly. All communication must pass through a wizarding intermediary, usually the family member or liaisons assigned to their case. This prevents accidental breaches through unmonitored letters, phone calls, or emails. Official contact addresses, phone numbers, and networks for the Ministry of Magic simply do not exist within Muggle systems. Technology itself is unreliable near concentrated magic. Strong enchantments distort electricity, signals, and data storage, making digital communication unstable. Cameras fail to capture spells, audio devices record silence, and computers often crash when exposed to magical interference. Because of this, Muggles who live with or near magic are advised to keep technology use separate from enchanted areas. For correspondence, most rely on owl post or hand-delivered messages through wizard relatives. The Ministry discourages electronic devices as a security risk, and certain magical neighborhoods even have warding fields that disable them automatically. The system leaves many informed Muggles isolated from the institutions that regulate their knowledge. They can see the magical world, but cannot easily reach it, relying entirely on their wizarding connections to communicate, report problems, or ask questions. Although secrecy limits their rights, Muggles who know about magic are granted basic legal protection under Ministry law. These safeguards fall under the jurisdiction of the Department of Magical Law Enforcement, ensuring that no witch or wizard may use magic to harm, exploit, or manipulate an informed Muggle. Crimes such as magical coercion, memory tampering without authorization, or the use of curses on Muggles carry penalties equal to those committed against magical citizens. If a violation occurs, the affected Muggle cannot appear in wizard court but may submit a statement through a ministry-appointed mediator. Cases are reviewed by the Wizengamot, which can issue restitution orders or authorize obliviation if the trauma endangers secrecy. Financial compensation or relocation assistance may also be provided by the Department of Magical Accidents and Catastrophes. A crucial distinction exists between informed Muggles, who are recognized by the Ministry, and oblivious civilians, whose memories have been modified. Only the former are eligible for protection and compensation. This framework ensures that cooperation remains voluntary and sustainable while keeping public awareness strictly contained. In the wizarding world's eyes, protecting these few Muggles means preserving the veil that separates both societies. In recent years, the Ministry of Magic has quietly debated how much longer total secrecy can be sustained. After the fall of Voldemort, many younger wizards questioned the fairness of forcing Muggles who know about magic to live in silence. Advocates for reform argue that Muggle parents, spouses, and guardians deserve clearer rights, written guidance, and the ability to communicate safely with magical authorities. Opponents warn that any loosening of secrecy risks global exposure. Small steps toward reform have already begun. The Muggle Liaison Office now offers discreet orientation sessions for Muggle-born families, explaining magical law and safety in plain terms. Pilot programs test selective transparency, allowing limited cooperation in emergencies such as magical creature sightings or large-scale accidents. Some members of the Wizengamot have proposed formal recognition of dual-world households, giving them partial legal status within wizarding society. Yet the foundation of secrecy remains intact. The wizarding world still sees silence as the price of coexistence. For most informed Muggles, that means living with knowledge they can never share, a quiet agreement holding two worlds apart. Whether this boundary will ever fade depends not on law or politics, but on trust between those who wield magic and those who never will.